Gemini, I'm Ember. Welcome back to my channel. So for today we're doing messages for your sign. We have the Creator, Soul Work, the Magi. We have Neptune, Dream and Transcend. Aries, Independence, Bravery and Passion. Pluto, Transform. Jupiter, Grow and Expand. Water, Sensitivity, Emotion, Intuition, and Compassion. So when I was tapping into your energy, I felt like you guys were going through some kind of ego death, some kind of awakening, some kind of emotional death and rebirth. You guys have a lot of transformational energy. We have Transform with Pluto, and then we also have Grow and Expand with Jupiter. And I felt like, yeah, and then we have Dream and Transcend. So I feel like, so Neptune energy is like with Pisces, and it's about like dreaming, it's about hopes, it's about seeing like through the other side, it's like about seeing behind the veil kind of. And I don't know why, but I feel like your spiritual gifts are coming alive, and I definitely feel like you guys are having an ego death of some type where you're changing at a cellular level, and it's just like you guys are like, I see it like a butterfly, and or like you're just coming out of an old skin of yours. And I feel like you have done a lot of work to do this, but I do feel like it may be causing confusion. It may be causing, what I'm hearing is body aches. I don't know why I'm getting that. It may be causing some type of like feeling like you can't kind of put yourself in a space as in like grounded. I don't know. Usually when we go through an ego death, it can cause a lot of confusion. It can cause sometimes body pains. It can cause us to feel like we're not quite understanding what's going on around us. It can feel very like dreamlike. It can feel like you're not in reality. It can also be very beautiful. It can cause very big downloads from spirit. I feel like a lot of you are going through some type of spiritual awakening, and you have sensitivity, emotion, intuition, and compassion. I feel like there's a rebirth in your water energy. I feel like there's a rebirth in your emotions, and it may be causing you to feel like you don't know how you're feeling about things now. Like, let's say there were certain people in your life, right? And you're going through this ego death, you're healing, you're becoming someone totally different. And then now, because of that feeling, you're kind of like seeing things and people and or situations in a new way, because I feel like for some reason, I feel like there's like a rebirth going on with your sight, like clairvoyance and or just something to do with your intuition. There's like a rebirth of that. And so what I see is like a rebirth of it, but also a clearing of it. And so you may be seeing situations and people in a new way, and that may be causing confusion and this feeling of like, why am I feeling like this differently about what's going on? How come I'm feeling about this person differently? How come I'm feeling about my life differently? And I definitely feel like it's because you guys have in some ways evolved and created this opportunity of a spiritual awakening or an awakening. And it's leading you to your soul work. So we have the soul work and the Magi. I feel like a lot of you have some type, a lot of spiritual gifts, but like you're maybe looking at, how do I use my spiritual gifts in a passionate way, and how can I help other people? I definitely feel like for you, Gemini, there's this feeling of like, I want to help other people. I want to lead my life with bravery and passion and with transformation. And Pluto can be, it's very expansive, but it's ruled by Scorpio, I believe. Hold on. Yes, I don't know why I question myself. I question myself a lot. You may be questioning yourself a lot lately. But yes, Pluto is ruled by Scorpio, and Scorpio is all about death, rebirth. And then in your pre-shuffle, I pulled the Death card, and it was next to the Two of Swords, which is causing confusion and causing this feeling of like, I don't really know what's going on right now. I don't really know why I'm feeling like this. And I guess this is your confirmation of like, yes, you're going through an ego death. Yes, you're going through a major rebirth, transformation. It could be starting, you could be starting to see it in your outside world, but I definitely feel like for right now, it's a lot of inside work that's changing. A lot of your inside world is changing, and you may be feeling like more rich and more confused, but also just different. I just feel like you guys are feeling different, and you can't quite put your finger on it. And this is to tell you that you're going through an awakening right now, to be very kind to yourself, because going through an awakening, it's going to cause, what happens when we go through an awakening or an ego death, it causes all this stuff that we haven't healed to come up to the forefront. So if you're having if you're being triggered, if you feel like you're having memories come back that you haven't seen before, if you're feeling like you're having feelings that aren't normally like your type of feelings, it's definitely pointing, because when an ego death happens, all the stuff that we've been hiding comes up to the forefront, and it's meant for us to heal it out so that we can let that go, so we can kind of raise into a different vibration, raise into a different part of ourselves, raise into a different person in a better way. It's like kind of just shedding the stuff that doesn't work for you and moving into yourself. And it's to create something of like a soul work with your purpose. And there is a Magi card, and I feel like a lot of you are just looking at, there's something to do with your sight. There's something to do with your clairvoyance. There's something to do with your intuition and how it's leading you to a path. And that path is where your purpose is lying. And some of you may already be on this, already know what you're going to do. Like everyone's on the path, right? But some people may be like more into like knowing, oh, this is what I want to do with my life, or this is what I want to do with my life purpose. And some of you may just be starting to get like kind of an idea. And some of you may have no idea. And that's okay. Anywhere you're on that timeline, you're in the spot you're meant to be. And that's totally okay. I feel like it's hard for me to get my words out, and it's hard for me to put this into like words that are concise and make sense. And I don't know if maybe you've been having a hard time with your throat chakra lately. I don't know why I just saw your throat chakra, and it may be because it's anytime we go through an ego death, the chakras that need to be transformed are maybe going to shut down for a minute, so that that it doesn't overwhelm us when we transform it, and you're able to like kind of handle, your body's able to handle it, our minds are able to handle it. It doesn't have to be too overwhelming. So sometimes our chakras get shut down just for a little bit to like create that space of like darkness. I kind of see like a cocoon, and there's like darkness in the cocoon, right? And it's like there needs to be a space of void, a space of darkness, a space of time, a space of just growing. And I feel like you guys are growing a lot into yourselves. You're growing a lot into your purpose. You're growing a lot in your gifts. And it may feel very scary, because anytime the way we have beginnings is only if we have endings. And I feel like a lot of you are ending some things that haven't been, or thinking about ending things that are not resonating at where you're going after this ego death, where you're going during this ego death. You know what I mean? All right, Spirit, anything else for Gemini? We've got the King of Swords reversed. That clearly came out reversed too. Why is it reversed? 7 of Pentacles, hold on. Why is it reversed, Spirit? 2 of Swords. It's funny because you guys pulled the 2 of Swords again. Why else is this reversed? 9 of Wands reverse. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm just going to get it for a second. I want to see if I can get any more before I speak on this. 6 of Cups. Oh, I see. Okay, it could be 2 different things. Hold on. Ace of Cups. 4 of Swords. Justice. Yeah. Okay. There's some truth that's coming to light that you don't want to look at. And it could be because, here's the thing, when we go through an ego death, like I talked about, when we go through an ego death and we change, if someone else is in a relationship with us and they don't change too, then they maybe can't come with us. And I think you're looking at that. I think it's causing you a lot of pain. I think you're trying to hold off on the time. It's almost like there's just time that needs to pass before you can make a decision. And I feel like maybe you feel like you're not standing in your truth, but it's like these things take time. If you're wanting to leave someone behind that you've been, let's say, married to, or been with a long time, or a friendship for a long time, it's like that's going to take some time to figure out. So it's like, give yourself the time. Don't beat yourself up if you're feeling like you don't know, if you're feeling in a state of confusion. And we also have 9 of Wands in reverse. You're like looking to unburden yourself from the relationships that aren't serving you, but as well as that, you don't want to. Like there's this feeling of not wanting to let go of it because it's been so, oh my gosh, you guys, I just feel so, I'm sorry that you're going through this, because I'm literally going through this right now. And it's like, I don't know why I keep getting the collective that's going through some type of like wanting to break up or wanting to end relationships that aren't serving you. But I feel like the collective like is going through a major transformation. And when you go through a major transformation, if someone doesn't transform with you, then you're going to have to leave them behind, whether you want to or not, or it's almost like someone explained it like this. They explain it like you're you're going up the mountain, right? And if the person behind you doesn't go up the mountain too, and they're like stuck to you, right? They're going to pull you back down the mountain, and you're not going to be able to keep going unless you like cut off the dead weight, unless they keep going with you. So it's like, it's similar to that. And I think, and that's not meant to scare you, right? It's just meant to like help you understand that, first of all, take your time. Second of all, this is really hard. Any kind of attachments that we form in any time in our lives, if they're long-term attachments, or if they're attachments that are very powerful, even if it's a short time, it's so hard to let them go. And I get this feeling of like, some of you may not want to be like going through an ego death and having to feel like you have to leave this person behind because of that, right? It's like the ego death is fine. I feel like a lot of you are like, fine, ego death, cool, got it, like cool, right? But it's what it's causing is this feeling of resistance, this feeling of like, oh well, I can't unknow this now. Like this person's not coming with me. This person's not meeting me where I'm at. This person's not meeting my needs. This person's not healing. This person's not going through their own ego deaths. This person's resisting the ego deaths that they are meant to go through. And I can't stay with them because they're continually not looking at themselves. And maybe that's what this Two of Swords is. It may not be you. Here's the thing. I may not be talking about you. I may be tapping into someone's energy around you. There may be someone who's not looking at the truth, not being able to see things clearly about the healing that they need to do, and not wanting to work on themselves, right? And because it causes them burden. And it's like they're trying to resist this change. And it's like, it's interesting because I feel like a lot of you are not resisting the change. So I maybe have been talking about the person you're connected with. It's very possible. So I just want you to reverse it if it applies. Because if they're a part of your energy, I'm going to channel their energy anyways, because energy doesn't like, if you're attached to someone, their energy is going to be in you because they're in your life, and they're like affecting the choices you make, and they're affecting how you feel. And so sometimes I can tap into other people's energies, but it definitely is a soul bond of some type, something where you guys shared a massive cup of love at some point, and you're going through healing, and it's causing this feeling of justice. And it's like the feeling of you not wanting to let them go is real. That's you. At least that's how I feel. That's what I feel. And there is this feeling of like justice coming in because of the healing you've done to show you, is this cup of love something that you are being filled by? Is your cup still being filled? Are you still feeling like you guys have a copacetic relationship? Are you seeing them the same way you saw them before? And I think you guys are coming to terms with having to leave somebody behind. And this doesn't have to be a love relationship. It could be a friendship. It could be a parent. It could be anybody, right? It's like, but you're thinking about leaving them behind and stepping into your autonomy and your independence in a different way. And it's scary, and it causes confusion, and it causes you to feel sad, and it causes you to feel heartbroken. And I feel like a lot of this is about heartbreak because you're going through so many changes, and you're evolving, and you're realizing that you need certain people in your life to continue growing even more. It's like sometimes when we grow, right, we can only do so much growing with someone. And if they're not willing to grow with us, then we have to leave them behind, because if we're wanting to grow and they're not wanting to come with us, then what, like, that's their choice too, right? It's like, it's not just about you making a choice to move forward and do what you need to do. They're also making a choice by not looking at themselves, and it has nothing to do with you, right? It's not about you. It's about their own pain, and they're not willing to look at their own pain, and they're not willing to look at their own healing. And we can't make them heal, and we can't learn their lessons for them. And that's really sad, because I'm sure you're like, I'll do it, right? It's like, I kept saying that, like, I'll do it if I'll learn his lessons for him. I'll go through the pain. But it's like, it just doesn't work like that. And they have to choose to heal. They have to choose to look at themselves. And if they don't do that, then there really is no choice other than I can either stay with you and stay in this space with you, or I can leave and keep growing, right? It sucks that it has to come down to this, like growth versus staying with someone. It should be both. And I think you're realizing that too. Like, this should be both. Like, we should be able to grow and expand with each other. And I'm sad that we can't. And it makes me feel like I can't continue on the path with you. I'm sorry you guys are going through this. It's really, really difficult. Hermit, yeah. You guys are in deep reflective mode. There's Virgo here. There's, what's Justice? I can't remember. I don't know if Justice has a card. Hold on. Okay, it's ruled by Venus. and its element is air. Sorry, I'm still trying to learn what major arcana are connected to the signs, because I haven't really been into the signs, but I'm trying to get more into it. But it's ruled by Venus, which I think is interesting because it's like justice and love, and Venus is all about love and about romance and about play and about fertility. And I think that you guys are really learning about justice, reflecting on the justice and the truth of what this means, what it means for you, what it's gonna how it's gonna affect you, how to move forward, how to look into the light of what you're being given, how to accept what you're being given, how to move into the truth of your heart and yourself. Yeah, oh, it's interesting. So justice and the Hanged Man comes next, but we have the Hangman in reverse, which is like, it was backwards in this deck, but yeah, I think this is just this sadness over the fact that the enlightenment is causing this relationship to not be something that you can maybe move into anymore, to grow with. And it may be causing this feeling of like, I don't want to continue to be enlightened if I have to let this person go. For some of you, not for all of you, but for some of you want to keep persevering. Every time I get the star, I have to cover it up. So we have the star, which is like you're following your dreams. Sorry guys, I have to cover it up because it's naked. Stupid YouTube. Anything else? You want to follow your dreams and your hopes. The Hierophant, yeah, your dreams and your hopes. I feel like you want to follow your emotional fulfillment and your emotional integrity and your emotional independence, and you want to be emotionally independent. You want to get more into your values and your belief systems and keep conversating with spirit. And I think a lot of you have insane spiritual gifts that are very connected to your purpose. I mean, anytime we have spiritual gifts, they're always going to be connected to something that we're doing. But I think you're looking to try to how do I turn my dreams to spirituality and how do I use my gifts in a more practical way? How do I put them out in the world? And where am I meant to be? And where's my emotional fulfillment meant to be? And how do I follow that? And I think the more you follow your dreams and your hopes, and the more you follow enlightenment, and the more you follow reflection and healing, and the more you follow spirit, the harder it's going to be to stay in this relationship, which for me was the same thing that happened to me, and it's like you want to follow your sun, you want to follow the I heard the golden brick road. That is so funny. That's so interesting. Queen of Cups, yeah, you're following your emotional fulfillment. This is very tied to your emotions, guys, and it's also I keep opening the card to the Emperor, and then of course we have the Tower. Yeah, so this Tower is about what I've been talking about, and the more you step into your leadership, your hopes and your dreams, spirit, and you're like looking at this, you're looking at like, oh wow, if I step into my autonomy and my leadership role and I follow my heart, it's going to cause a tower in my life. And it's like you guys are looking at that and thinking about, how do I manifest this in the way that it's not going to completely derail me? And how do I manifest this so I'm bringing this tower down myself so that it's not being taken away from me by spirit, right? And it's like, I think you guys are just looking at faulty foundations of what is not serving you, and how do you continue moving forward, and how do you love yourself through this tower moment that you're having, because it is a tower moment, the epiphany of what you're thinking about and what you're feeling. It's a tower moment that's happening, and I think it's very painful for you. And I think that you're realizing that you have that to be the leader you want, to be the autonomous, independent person that you want, to follow your passion, to follow your dreams, to follow your hopes, to listen to your emotions. It's causing you to realize that this is not the person that you're meant to be with, and that is really, really hard to go through. I'm sorry, Gemini. I really am. We just shit in the mirror. This is about looking at yourself in the mirror and seeing the magic of yourself. And then when you look at this person, how do you feel about yourself? And how do you feel about this person? And does this person see you properly? You know what I mean? We've got, there we go with your intuition. 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron. Archangel Metatron, I've been actually connected to more. And I don't know why, it stuck out to me. And I think that I think asking for guidance from Archangel Metatron, if you're not already asking for guidance, would be very helpful in helping you with this. Because I believe Archangel Metatron also helps you cut emotional cords. Or maybe that's Sandalphon. But they're kind of together, Metatron and Sandalphon. 3rd chakra, Archangel Shamael. So this is your power, this is your solar plexus, and this is your intuition, and this is your third eye. And I think that you guys are looking at, like, your chakras are going through something major. Victory. Yeah, there is victory in your emotional and spiritual development. There's a major victory happening, and maybe about how you're implementing that into the world and finding your fulfillment and finding your purpose. And it's like maybe you're getting closer to that, and maybe you're feeling that victory, but it's also causing a lot of pain, and it's also causing you to question your whole life. And questioning your whole life is very hard, very, very hard. We've got healer of the ages. Yes, I definitely feel like for you guys, like the gifts that you have are meant to heal a lot of people, are meant to help, and you're meant to be this healer of ages. And I think that that's the victory that you're realizing, oh wow, I actually can step into my power in my spiritual gifts and help other people, and there's a victory in that. And I also have to clean up my life if I need to continue on the path that I'm meant to go on, because that's where you're being led to. That's where you feel your soul calling you to this living out your purpose with your gifts in a way that feels fulfilling and loving for yourself. And it's hard because you're coming across this like, wow, I really am questioning everything and everyone in my life now. And it's very difficult. And it's like giving yourself the fact that it's overwhelming and difficult to go through an ego death on its own, but then to have this other part of it, which is like connected to relationships, deep relationships that you're questioning now, and having to love yourself through that, and having to choose yourself, even if it hurts yourself, so that you can continue following your hopes and your dreams. So I'm so with you, Gemini. I'm sorry that you're going through this, but I just want to say that it will work itself out. Give yourself time, let yourself process, let yourself feel your feelings, and just give yourself some time. You don't have to be pressured to make any decisions right now. It's just about like being aware of what's going on, which you are. You're a Gemini, so you're aware. You're very, very aware of what's going on, and your mind is very powerful. Your thoughts are powerful. You are powerful. Your gifts are powerful. Your gifts are coming online. And I hope this helped somehow and gave you the encouragement and the compassion that you need, because you deserve it. So, okay, guys, I think that's all I have for you. Like and subscribe if you want, and I will see you guys next time.